Do you want to level up your animations? In the next 25 minutes you'll learn how to recreate these 3 high quality animations that will take your edits to the next level. Here is the final result.
Building a personal brand is the key to your business success. People will only find you online if you have a strong presence.
Alright, so let's just fire up DaVinci Resolve and make it happen. So the first thing we're gonna do is just set up the project. What we'll do to start up with is just go into the settings, and now we'll just change the timeline frame rate to 60 FPS and then just click on save. Now I'll just import the assets, and if you're interested, they are linked down below and you can grab them completely for free. So I'll just add the AI voiceover, and then you will just chop it up, remove the silences and make it play good. So that was basically it. Now I will just add a Fusion composition, and we are primarily gonna work in Fusion, so just go ahead and open effects and then drag on a Fusion comp. And then we will just change the length of the Fusion composition, so just go ahead and right click on it and then just choose change clip duration and then just make it 1 second and 20 milliseconds. Now we are pretty much ready to go into Fusion and do the stuff in there. So let's just dive in. To start off with, we'll create this awesome gradient background. So simply just drag on a background and then connect it to the media out. Then we will change the type to gradient and then go ahead and take it from linear to radial, and then just drag this one into the center and drag this one out so we get a little bit more of a solid gradient. Then you will just go and make this black color a dark blue, so just drag up the blue here and then go into the white and just make it black. And now we're actually ready to add our assets. Go into the media pole and then just take the main with the PC, and then you'll just add him to the background like this, so we get a merge in between. Then you will add a transform to him, and then you can just scale him up a little bit and then just drag it down so he's in the bottom of the screen. Now we will just create a quick animation for him. So go into the first keyframe, keyframe the center, and go to frame 35, keyframe the center again, and then just go back to the first keyframe and just drag him out of the screen. This animation isn't quite as smooth as you'd like it to be, so I'm just gonna go ahead and open the spline editor and then just click on these 3 dots and then choose show only selected tool. This way you will only see the tool you selected. Then you'll just click on the transform and then just lock these 2, right click and then ease and then choose out cubic. And I won't go on a big rant for this, but the reason why we use out cubic is just because that's pretty smooth in animation for things that goes onto the screen. One thing more we can do to make it even smoother is just go onto the settings of the transform and then just turn on the motion blur, and bam, now we get a smooth animation. The next thing we're gonna add is just add a text on the top of the screen that says personal brand. So just do the same for this one and then just make it say personal brand, and then choose whatever font you like. I'll choose Morganite. You get a bold font that is looking pretty good and has a lot of character to it, so let's choose that one and just size it up quite a bit like this. Then you'll just move it to the top of the screen. I will just make the line spacing a little bit smaller because, as you can see, there is quite a bit of room between the words. So just go into the text here and just drag down the line spacing quite a bit. Then just right click in this space here and choose character level styling, and then just highlight the word that says brand. And now we can actually scale the word up. So go ahead into the modifiers and drag up the size like this so it aligns with the text as personal here. And then we can just add a transform after it. I'll just scale it up a little bit more. It's a little bit too small. I think we can go with this. Then we will do pretty much the same animations to just keyframe the center at frame 35, then go to frame 0 again and just drag it out of the screen. So we will just make a smooth animation again. So zoom to fit, highlight them, then go into ease and out cubic. So we get this smooth animation. And then just go into the settings of the transform, and then you'll just turn on motion blur and just drag up the quality and the shutter angle all the way. I will just scale up our man here just a little bit, and we can actually drag him up a little bit more. So his head is just on top of the word that says brand. What we'll add now is just this text that says building, and we will make it with a rectangle behind it that has a light sweep on it. So let's go ahead and do that. So just drag this media in up a little bit like this, and then just add a text and connect it like this. So we get a merge in between, and just make the text say building, and choose whatever font you like. I will choose the font that's called Inter. I think that's a cool font that gives a bold and clean look. I'll just choose the extra bold one, and let's just make it a little bit bigger with the man here. What we'll add now is just the rectangle behind the word here. So just add a background, connect the background to the text output here, and then we'll get a merge in between, and just click on Control T to swap the inputs. So this one is behind the text, and then make this a blue color and add a rectangle to it, and just align it with the word like this and drag it over a little bit, and you can just round off the corners. So I will just make this text black instead, like this. And then I will go into effects and I will go to templates, edit effects, and I will choose Victor Grubbe. And then I will see my own presets, and you can get them all free down below if you want to. So let's just take this light sweep here and add it. And as you can see, if I zoom in a little bit, we can see there is a little bit of a light sweep. And I will add my VG deep glow as well, or a pretty cool deep glow effect, so we get this glow around. And I will just turn up the glow size a little bit. On the light sweep, I will just go to frame 20, and then open the animation tab here and just drag it to the start and go to the last frame and just drag it out like this. And if I zoom in, we can see the edge is a little bit too big for my taste. So I will just go open the edge tab here and then just turn down the edge size quite a bit. And if we want to change anything about the light sweep, just go into light intensity, and then you can just make it more intense if you want to, or less intense. And I will just do something like this and make it a little bit wider and turn up the soft edge like this. And then you will just copy this deep glow and add it to this main here, and just turn the glow size down quite a bit and the light intensity. This just gives some depth to the main. And one thing more you can do is I'll just copy this deep glow here, and then you will just paste the deep glow and add it to the text that says personal brand. Then just turn down the glow size a lot and the glow intensity as well. Then I'll just add some drop shadow to the text that says building. So shift and space to add it. Then just turn down the blur so we can see where it is, and bring down the size quite a bit. So that was the first scene. Now we'll make the next scene, which is a key animating on and some text that says business success. So I'll just add a fusion composition, then go to this frame here and just make this long, and then make it go over this fusion composition by 25 frames. I will just head into the fusion page. To start off with, we will create the gradient. So just add a background, add it to the media out, and then choose 4 corner gradient. Make the left corner a dark blue and the bottom right corner a dark blue as well, but with some green mixed into it, so it's like this. Then you will just go ahead and add this key USDC file, and a USDC file is just a format for 3D files, so I will just go ahead and add it. And when working with these USDC files, we are using the U nodes in DaVinci Resolve. So just type U transform, and you will add a U merge and a U dome light and a U renderer. Then add the background like this to get a merge in between, and then just add the U loader to the transform here. So now we can see the key actually, and it's quite big. So then you will just turn down the scale a lot to make it a little bit smaller. I will do something like this and then just drag it down a little bit. And as you can see, this key is looking pretty dark. So what we'll do is just go into the U renderer and then choose the lighting from camera to scene instead. And in that way we'll get a lot of lighting onto the key. So let's just highlight these and drag them up a lot, and then we will make the animation for the key and leave the rotation Y at 0 and just drag it out of the screen like this. Then go to frame 25 and just drag this one up to 90 so it's rotated. Go to the last keyframe and just drag it over to 270 to make it go all the way around. So let's take a look at it. We get the key popping up and then it starts rotating. So let's open the spline editor and just smoothen out the keyframes and just highlight the U transform and mark these. Click on F on the keyboard and then just T, and then drag up the ease in and ease out a lot. So this was the first animation we're gonna make. Now we'll make the animation of the text that says business success with a line animating to it. So first thing we will make is just the text that says business success. So add a text, connect it to the merge and type business success, and then just scale it up a little bit. Just drag it down to the bottom of the screen, so around here, and then I'll just change the font. I'll just choose enter and make it extra bold, and then just go into the shadings tab and choose gradient, and then just make this black color a dark gray, and I'll just drag it down a little bit so we see more of the white. Then just go back into the text here and then right click and choose character level styling. That way we can change the font of the word that says success by itself. So just highlight it and then go into the modifiers tab, and then you'll just choose the font that's called Gluck. This is a cool font with a bit of a retro style. I'll make it a blue color, and as you can see we can't make it blue, and that's because we have a gradient in here, so I'll just make it solid again. Now you will just make the line animating to where it says business success. So just add a background, and then I'll go into the color and make it white, and then I'll just connect it like this and simply add polygon and make a line from the key here down to where it says success. And I will just check off the solid and make the border width go up a little bit. And I don't like it to be a straight line, so I'll just drag this one up, go to this one here and drag this one down a little bit so we get this cool animating line. I will make the border style this one that is flat here, so in this way we get the flat borders. Then I will go to frame 35 and just keyframe the position and go to frame 55, keyframe it again and just drag the first one down to 0 so it animates on. I will just go into the settings here and enable motion blur and just turn the quality up and the shutter angle and go into the text box here, right click and choose insert and then follower. And when we add a follower we can animate the character by character style. So let me go into the modifiers and then go to shadings, and then you will just keyframe the opacity at frame 55 and go to frame 75, keyframe it again and then just drag this one down to 0. Then go into the transform, and in transform we can just rotate the Y. So when we do rotate this, we rotate the wedge horizontally. So just go to frame 75, keyframe it and go to the first one, and then I'll just do -90. So we spin it a quarter way around. What we'll do now is just go into timing, and then we can turn the timing up so it comes on 1 by 1 each character. So if we take a look at it now, it just comes on 1 by 1. And just go into the spline editor, and then we'll just smoothen out the curve. So just zoom to fit and then just highlight both of these and then right click and choose out cubic. Now we get this smooth animation. And I will just go into the polygon while I'm in the spline editor, and then I will just highlight these keyframes and click on S to smoothen it out and just drag up these. Now I'll just add a color corrector to the key, so and then just make it blue like this and add a deep glow. Just turn up the glow size and just copy it, and then we will add it to this one as well, the line animating on, and then we got some glow in the text as well, and just turn down the glow intensity on both of these. So let's just do some motion for it. So I'll just add a transform for all of it. I'll just keyframe it at frame -25 and go to frame 35 and just zoom in a lot and just keyframe the pivot as well, and then go to frame 55 and keyframe the size and the pivot, and then just zoom in a little bit more and go down and over to the word begins animating on. So this is centered. Go into the spline and then zoom to fit, and then I will just highlight all of these and then click on F just to smoothen it out, and go into transform of this and just make it have some motion blur. And one last thing, I'll just add some motion blur to this renderer, and the reason why I do this for the last thing is because it can be pretty intense on the computer. And I will just go to where I can see it and then just turn up the shutter angle to 360 and the quality up a little bit as well. And the reason why we added it 20 frame over this one is because we will do a transition. So just go into the Fusion page again, so just add a merge and add this background here and just turn alpha all the way down, and then you will just add this ellipse and then just swap the input. So this one is the one that's being affected. So just go to frame -25, just right click on the height and choose expression, and then just connect the expression to the width. Then we will just highlight the width and the center and then just drag it up in the corner like this, and go to frame 0, make it go to the middle and just drag the width all the way up and make it 2.1 so it opens up like this. And then you'll just go into the spline and make all look smooth by clicking S on the keyboard and just dragging up the ease in and the ease out and just adding some motion blur. So this was the final thing for this composition, and now we'll make the 2 last animations in the one Fusion composition. So just add a Fusion composition for the last 2 here. What we'll do now is just set a marker for every word that's being spoken. So just go to the first one and then we can hear it say people, and then just set a marker here on the Fusion composition by clicking on M and then go here, and then we can hear it say only. So just press a marker and then press M here to set a marker as well where it says finding. So let's just go into the Fusion page. To start off this composition we will create a gradient background as we did in the other ones as well. So just add a background, add it to the media out, choose gradient and radial, make this one in the middle and drag these ones out, then make this one a dark blue and this other one a black. What we will add is just a pop-up for each word, so word by word animation pop-up. What you will add now is just add the text here and connect it to the background like this, and then you will just type people and then choose the font you like. As always I'll choose the font that's called Inter, and then just make it extra bold and just size it up a little bit, and then we will just do the animation for it real quick. So go to frame 25 and go into the shadings tab, keyframe the opacity and go to frame 0 and just drag it down down and then keyframe the center, frame 25, and then go to the first frame and then just drag it down a little bit so it pops up like this. Now we'll just go into the spline and make a smooth curve and then mark them and then just choose Alt Cube to get this smooth animation up and just add a transform after it, and then we can place it wherever we want it. Now I will just copy this and add it right after it and just make it say will, and then just go into this transform and drag it down a little bit and align it with the text here like this. And then if we go into the keyframes here and go to the media out, we can see these marks here we did in the editing page. So I'll just go into the text here and open the spline and zoom to fit and mark them and just hold shift and drag them over like this. And I'll just copy this here, add it, and then I'll just make this say only and just drag it over a little bit. And then I'm gonna change the font to another font and I'll change it to the font called Great Vibes. And I will just drag these to this keyframe here like this, and then change the color of the text. I will make it a gradient blue, so this one for the black, and then I will make this one a little bit lighter of a blue shade like this. And let's just drag this one over a little bit. You can see we will add the eye here, and we'll just make this pretty cool eye at this keyframe here. So just remove this keyframes tab here and then just add a background and then make it white and then just connect it like this, and then just add polygon node, add like this, and then you can just find an image of an eye and then you can just make it look like that. So I'll just go ahead and find an image of an eye and just make it like this. I think this right here looks pretty good, so just shake off the solid here, then just drag up the border width a little bit and make it a flat cap style, and then choose this for the border style. If we zoom in, you can see if I choose this, it will be some sharp edges instead, and that's the look we're going for. Now we will just make the eyeball, so just copy this background and add it like this, and just add an ellipse and check off the solid and just drag up the border width a little bit. And then you'll just right click on the height and choose expression and connect it to the width, so we can size them both up and down at the same time. Just drag this one down. I'll just go into this one quickly, just drag it over a little bit more down, and copy this polygon here and add it so this doesn't go outside, and just connect it and turn on solid. Then just copy this one and just add it right below and add it like this. Just drag the merge over, and then you will just check on solid and just size it down quite a bit. We will animate it on now, so just go to this polygon here and just keyframe the length, and then just go 40 frames ahead, just keyframe it again, and then go to the first one and just drag it down to 0. And then we will just do the same for this here, so go to keyframe 50. Just keyframe the length and go to frame 90, keyframe the length again and go to the first one, and then I will just go to the eyeball in the middle here and then keyframe it at frame 50 the width, and go to frame 90, keyframe the width again, go to 0 and just drag it down to 0, so it comes up like this. And then just click on control and click on all of these, and then we can see them all at the same time in the spline. Just click on zoom to fit and control A, and then just click on F to flatten them out, and then T to bring up the ease in and these out as well, so we get this smooth animation. And now we will just animate the eyeball looking from this side to this side. So just go to the ellipse here, and we are on frame 90, then go to frame 110, keyframe the center, and go to frame 130, keyframe the center again. Just go to this one, make it look to the left, and then go to the last one here and make it look to the right. And important, make this one centered, so 0.05 will look to the left and then to the right. And then we will just do the same for the eyeball in the middle, keyframe the center at frame 90, and then go to frame 110 and then 130. So at 110 we will just make it look left like this, and then at 130 just make it look right like this. Then we'll just smoothen out these, so control on both, and then we'll see them in the spline at the same time. And then just check off the length here, and then just click on control A, and then click on F and then T, and drag it up on both these in and these out, so it goes like this. So let's just go back to the edit page and see where we are. We are on here, and then what we will do now, actually just copy this one because we changed it a little bit. Then we'll just add it again and check off the solid. What we will do now is just go into this merge, and then we are at 130, and then just keyframe the blend and go to 140 and just keyframe it again and drag it down to 0. And what we're going to do now is just add these user characters. So if we go over here, then we'll just drag a background and add to the mask input, so we can change the color of this user here, and just add a merge down here and then just connect it to this one. Then we can add a transform after and a drop shadow. and then just zoom in and turn down the blur, and just drag distance in a little bit, this, and just turn up the blur again. Now we can go to frame 130 and then just size it down quite a bit and just drag it down. So this head here matches up, and this is pretty good actually. So if I just go to this one and then go to frame 130, keyframe the blend at 0, and then go to 140 and just drag it all the way up. So this looks pretty good. Then we'll just go to these over here. If we just highlight all of them and just add it like this, just go into the yellow input instead, and then we can just keyframe the blend here and just drag this one to 0, and it goes out like this, and we can actually make it go out with some animation. So keyframe the center on 130 and 140, just drag it out and just zoom to fit, highlight all of these and just click on S on the keyboard and then T and just drag up the ease out quite a bit, something like this. And then I'll just cut this here because we are gonna add a lot more of these characters. Then just add it to this one here, and we get a merge over like this, and then Control T just to swap the input, and then just drag this one over and Control T again, and then just drag this one up a little bit, this and over, so it's on top like this. And then just go into this one, just go to frame 140 on this one, keyframe the blend, and then go to 150, keyframe the blend again, and just drag this one down to 0 so it comes on like this. And for this one, just copy it, and for this one we're just gonna do 150 and 160, and just go to the first one and drag it down to 0. Just copy all of these and then add them on top here, and just drag this one into this input here, and we can just drag this one down here and just go into the merge here and highlight all of these and just drag them 10 frames ahead. Just copy these and add them like this, and then just make this one blue color and drag it up, and just go to this one here and drag them over a little bit more, and we will just make this one slide up. So go in this one and just keyframe the center at 164 and then 174, and just go back to this one and drag it down a little bit, and this looks pretty good. So let's just add a transform at the end here, and then we'll just do all the zoom ins and stuff like that. So firstly we will make a keyframe in the beginning on the size and the pivot, and just zoom in quite a bit and up a little bit as well, so the people here is centered, and then go to 50, keyframe the size and the pivot, and then go to 90 and then keyframe them again, just drag it down a little bit like this and zoom in a little bit more, and then keyframe it at frame 150 on this size and the pivot, and then go to frame 180, keyframe them again, zoom in a little bit more and go up a little bit more, and just go into the spine here, highlight all of these, click on F and then T, and just drag the ease in and ease out up a little bit, so we get the zoom in and then zoom down to here, and then zoom out and zoom in at the end as well. And then I will just go to this one. I think we can need a little bit more zoom in, something like this. I'll just add a vignette so it highlights this guy. Just go to frame 160, keyframe the size, and go to frame 191, which is the last keyframe, and keyframe the size, and just make it focus in on him, and go to the first one and go make it as big as possible. And I'll just make this one a little bit smaller like this, and this looks pretty good. What I will do now quickly is just add some glow. So I'll just go into effects here, and then I'll open template, edit, then effects, and then go to this one and add some glow to all of it, and just turn up the glow size a little bit, this, and then just copy this one and just drag this one over a little bit and add to this blue guy here, and just turn up the glow size a little bit more. Copy this one and just add it to the word that says only. So this one in the beginning, so we can see this one glows a little bit more. So this was the last animation. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
Building a personal brand is the key to your business success. People will only find you online if you have a strong presence.